M Ramos.
Welcome to Air Guns and Crafts. In this video, I'd like to talk about the M17 bolt springs. This spring is the original factory spring. This spring I bought from China, and it's a little stronger than the original factory spring. And this is the Home Defense 24 spring. This spring compressed is about 1 inch, around 26 to 27 millimeters. This spring compressed, even though it has less coils than the factory M17 spring, this spring also compresses to around 1 inch. This spring also compresses to around 1 inch. This spring is very strong. Outside diameter, it gets stuck inside my M17. We're gonna put that one to the side. Now what we're left with is these two springs, the factory and the one from China. Now the one from China is pretty strong, but it's not as strong as this one. But it is stronger than the factory. You want to stay within 1 inch when it's in its compressed state. But what I like to try is to add another 15 millimeters and add it to this spring. Now in its compressed state, it will be over 1 inch by 1/8 of an inch, and that's 3 millimeters. I might run into a problem, but I would like to test it. It might be too long in this compressed state. I ordered 10 of these springs from China at 100 millimeters, and I ordered also 120 millimeter from China. Now, which I think it might be too long, but I only ordered one spring at 120 millimeters, and I paid $15 for it. I paid $43 for 10 springs at 100 millimeter. 10 springs, it's already an inch compressed. So add another 1/8, which would be 3 millimeters. I'm gonna try to test it. I'm gonna test it and see how it does on the bolt. The factory spring, when it was brand new, is guessed to be around 125 millimeters. As in my previous videos, everything is standard. Extended full auto stop. The full auto pins are pulled out, and I have the upgraded Home Defense 24 springs inside the trigger group. I'm going to install the spring from China. First, I'm going to put the 15 millimeter spring on, and then I'm going to add the 98 millimeter. Now you see what it looks like on the bolt. Here's the original factory spring. Here's the Home Defense. I'm going to test it with 2 bolt bumpers. I'm going to start off with 900 PSI output. .423 FPS, 7.8 grams. Shot number 2. 431 FPS. Shot number 3. 423 FPS. This is the factory spring. It's very weak. It's the spring that just came in the mail from China, and I bought 10 of them. Bought 10 springs for $43. And this spring is stiffer than the factory spring. This spring is from Home Defense 24. The outer diameter is kind of wide. The springs from China I want to test and see if it holds up in the M17. And the thing that all 3 of these springs have in common is that all three of them compress to around 1 inch. This is the spring from China. 1100 psi output, Ninja tank. First shot. 447 FPS. Second shot. 436 FPS. Third shot. 432 FPS. There is no auto fire. We do have reliability. No auto fire. 1100 psi. Ninja tank. First shot. 424. Second shot. 423. Third shot. 422. Just a Chinese spring. Welcome to Air Guns and Crafts. In this video, I like to talk about the M17 spring. And the first thing I like to talk about is the length. And then I would like to talk about the tensile strength. The M17 spring is weak. Springs from China, stronger, about medium strength. And the last one is the Home Defense 24, and this is the strongest spring. The M17 spring, when it's compressed, it is around 1 inch, a little bit over. In millimeters, it's around 26 millimeters, 27 around there. These Chinese springs I purchased for $43, and I bought 10 of them. Bought 10 springs. This is what they look like when they're new. It only takes one shot to shorten them. The Home Defense 24 spring is the strength you're looking for. Now, you'll lose FPS, but you'll have reliability. The problem with my Home Defense 24 spring was the outside diameter. So what I did was I grinded the outside to make it fit on the bolt. We already know what the factory spring does, so we're going to omit that one. The Chinese spring is the short version. I bought these for $43. I bought 10 100 millimeter springs. They're 1.8 by 22 by 100. In this state right here, where they're not compressed, where they're not shortened, in this state, as opposed to being shortened, they're very reliable. I would say it's very reliable for 900 psi. When they get shortened, they're still reliable, but you're going to lose FPS. So yesterday in my test, I found that this spring is reliable. When it gets shortened after you use it, when you put 1100 psi through your marker, your spring is going to shorten to this size, and it gets shorter after many shots. So when you add the extra spring to it, you're adding another eighth of an inch. What I did was I added this smaller spring to the end, and I applied this to my bolt inside my M17. Now the results that I got was what I would usually get with the M17 spring. It was around the average. But I can't tell you for sure if it was reliable because I can't tell you the exact results because it did shoot 900 psi, no problem. It sprung back and latched onto the sear with no problem. But when I shot 1100 psi with the Ninja tank, it auto fired. So yesterday I had to fill out the test because I noticed that my screw was stripped out. I'm gonna test with the full auto stop. I grinded the outside of the Home Defense 24 spring, and I like to test it first using the Ninja tank. This is what happened to the last Chinese spring I used in my M17. Home Defense 24. I Loctited the screw and the set screw. Home Defense 24 spring. A Ninja. 1100 psi. First shot of the Coney. 374. Second shot. 362.